Like, it's very different than what's been around before, right?
Well, I don't know if I guess like a lot of people watching saw AJ's deck from last week. My main deck is probably like 3 or 4 cards off from his main deck last week. He had like a Phantasmal Image and one less Jace, I think. And I added Spell Snares, which were pretty insane most of the day. I cut an Inquisition of Kozilek.
That card seemed pretty good.
It was fine, and I cut a Ponder too, but I wanted to up the blue count for Force of Will, which was really low already, just by 1. And having Spell Snare to counter like Snapcaster Mages and the Mirrors, and Stoneforge Mystic and Tarmogoyf and all this other stuff.
Snapcaster Mage is like the best.
It's a lot of fun to play with. There are a lot of awkward hands and draws with it, but overall it's an insane card.
That's better than Bobby, though? This kind of deck used to play Bobby, right?
Well, if you play Bob, you run the risk of just dying to every aggro deck. just like, oh yeah, I drew a card, but it was 5 damage from Force of Will or something, you know? And
you could like sideboard Bob, right? Or is that not good?
I mean, I could. I actually thought about doing it because in a lot of the aggro matchups, I actually side out Force of Will and just try to 1-for-1 them to death with like Ghastly Demise and whatnot. And just having Bobs to draw 3 or 4 cards over the course of the game would be pretty insane. But I mean, they're gonna have removal spell for Tarmogoyf anyway, so Bob's not gonna live very long usually.
Do you ever run the risk? It looked like when you're playing against the Black-White Blade deck that he could just side in all of his removals, and he'd have more removals and Thoughtseize than you have creatures in your deck.
That was a concern, but the Unearths help a little against like the non-Swords of Plowshares and Path to Exiles. Yep. I actually sided them out against them though, so I guess that's reasonable. I don't know.
You worked it.
I did. Yeah. I mean, like before I play any creatures though, I just like him and Thoughtseize his entire hand away.
That's true. So, I mean, he could do. Oh, I guess he didn't have him.
No, he didn't have him. Like he just had like Scholar. I actually saw his list, but I didn't pay much attention because we had just split. So okay. I don't remember what all he had, but he didn't cast him to Torok, and I don't think he had it. So. Cool.
Chris, you're very tricky. Do you know what you did that was tricky?
What did I do that was tricky?
Your deck looks like it has 6 dudes, but you actually are hiding additional dudes, like in the miasma of Swords to Plowshares and like Force of Wills.
There's like spell stutter spider spells.
There's spells apparently.
Yeah, they are.
Like, what is this like? You could actually just move this over here, like spells with flash, those without flash.
Right.
Yeah. Sexy. Is that the right sword of Feast and Famine?
I think
yeah,
so.
We're discussing that a bit. Like,
Bug is really big right now, and it's just all black removal. It's like if you ever get it on a creature, they just have no way to get rid of it outside of bounce it, which is
100% agree.
You end up blocking with like your blue creatures, right? And it's just like,
I mean,
not good.
Like if they're just jumping with their Snapcaster Mages, that only happens for so long, and they can never block you with Goyf.
Yeah. Diabolic Edict. Like, the dream turns, though, are when you just, like, equip sword, attack, and play Jace, just like standard 6 months ago.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was pretty cool.
It's really hard for them to come back from that.
It was good enough in standard. It's got to be good enough for Legacy, right? I mean, they only banned the entire deck.
Yeah. Similar to Todd, the spell snares were just insane all day long.
Yeah, they look good.
Just counter everything.
How many were you playing? 4?
Four spell snares. Yeah, just had all the spell snares.
You had no Wasteland, though?
No Wasteland.
Yeah, I was wondering, like...
What's up with that?
It doesn't do anything in this deck.
It just doesn't really
like,
do anything.
Riptide Lab is better.
Like, being nice to hit their Riptide Labs would be fine.
I wish I didn't
But, like, you want to play Mutavault and Riptide Lab.
Like, it was just colorless.
And Snapcaster Mage makes you have, like, a heavy color requirement for flashing back your spells. Yeah. So you really can't afford to be playing more than 5 colorless spells.
So Mutavault's better than Mishra's Factory because of Spellstutter Sprite?
Because of Spellstutter Sprite and Riptide Lab.
You do that a lot, like defend and then...
Yeah, there were a couple times, like with Riptide Lab and Mutavault, like they can't ever wasteland it, and there was a situation where I was just like blanking their GT. Like they'd attack, I'd block,
that's
and then
pretty
bounce
cool.
it back to my hand. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, against him in Game 3, like, I thought about wastelanding his Riptide Lab just blind, and then I was like, no, I probably should save this for a Mutavault, and like it clicked in my head after he drew the Mutavault that he could bounce it, and I had a Dismember on top, so I was like, alright, well, get your Riptide Lab, move to combat, kill your guy, yeah. So.
Chris, your quarterfinal match with the Elves deck, we had, or at least I thought the Elves deck was be very advantaged against you. But you just like stopped it all.
Without Elvish Visionary, I can just 1-for-1 him.
He wasn't playing Elvish Visionary?
He didn't have Elvish Visionary, so I just 1-for-1 him the entire game, and then pull ahead with like Snapcaster and Jace.
It was like funny where you're like had to exile your priest or whatever. It's
Yeah,
just
right.
like it's the weirdest thing. You're like, this produces mana, and just go get.
Yeah, like, just go. Like you can have another land. That's fine.
All right.
Like, as long as it doesn't equal 15, I don't really care what you have.
Yeah, Emrakul is the beating.
Yeah.
So great job, guys.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right.
I guess we have some pictures to go take now.
Yep.